Welcome back to the quiet archives of the sleepy universe. We pause here at the threshold, having recognized a foundational law of this metropolis, that renewal is constant, fueled by a deep, elegant cycle of life, service, and quiet surrender. We now step beyond the foundational paradox of flowing matter and look closely at the citizens who execute this magnificent, continuous architectural plan. The strength of the silent city is not in its fixed boundaries, but in the specialized knowledge and tireless dedication of its inhabitants. They are organized into specialized forces, holding specific skill sets and collective memory, all dedicated to maintaining the ideal state of the master blueprint. Deep within the structural support systems of every borough and district are the tireless custodians, the progenitor cells. They are the citizens who hold the purest, most uncorrupted architectural memory of the city's founding. They are not tied to a single fixed job. They are pure potential, unspecialized life waiting for the call to duty. These custodians linger in quiet, hidden reservoirs. In the marrow quarries, they wait to become the various components of the blood and the structural units of bone. In the muscular grids, they lie dormant, awaiting a tearing signal to awaken and form new, healthy muscle fiber. Beneath the citadel walls, they ensure the constant replenishment of the surface, ready to rush into action when friction or heat causes a sudden, large-scale loss of surface blocks. The moment a distress signal, a chemical alarm from damaged tissue, is sent out, the custodians awaken. They rapidly multiply, creating an army of specialized construction crews, which then migrate directly to the breach site. They are unique because they do not simply patch the damage. They build perfect, original-grade tissue, stitching new, flawless architecture into the breach with astonishing precision. This is the city's ultimate insurance policy. They are the guardians of the genetic code, ensuring that even when a local population is decimated, the knowledge of what whole feels like is never lost. Their cycle is one of profound commitment, standing at rest, holding the blueprint, and rushing into motion only when survival of the city is threatened. The subtle difference between these progenitor cells and the fully specialized citizens lies in their genetic expression. They retain the flexibility of youth, capable of reading and executing various sections of the master blueprint based on the needs of the district committee, local growth factors. This adaptability is highest in the earliest years of the city's life, and though it slows with age, it never truly vanishes. Scientists studying the city's regeneration protocols are keenly focused on finding the right chemical keys to awaken these dormant custodians in older or chronically damaged districts. If the city can be convinced through targeted signals that it is young again, the potential for flawless tissue reconstruction is nearly limitless. The key to future health may lie not in external repair, but in reactivating the innate architectural memory already waiting beneath the surface. This awakening process is often stimulated by controlled, intentional stress, such as intense exercise or periods of cold exposure. These acute stressors send a potent signal of emergency need to the marrow quarries and muscle grids, prompting the release and mobilization of the custodians. The body treats challenge not as something to avoid, but as a necessary catalyst for renewal. The process by which the outer citadel wall, the skin, seals itself is a beautiful three-act drama of collective effort and chemical signaling, known as the closure protocol. When the wall is breached, the platelet first responders immediately arrive. They are not merely cell fragments, they are emergency architects. They seal the breach and, more importantly, release a cascade of growth factor signals, chemical beacons that announce a breach and guide the larger repair teams to the site. The initial seal, the clot, is thus not just a temporary plug. It is the blueprint's marker. The immune security forces flood the area. Specialized units called macrophages take on the dual role of soldiers and sanitation workers. They destroy any invaders and clear away the cellular debris and corrupted tissue blocks. Following them are fibroblasts, the city's master weavers. They lay down a temporary, dense weave of collagen cable, providing a structural foundation upon which the new surface can be built. This temporary scaffolding is what the final scar will be made of. New epithelial cells begin the slow, determined surface crawl. Guided by subtle electrical currents across the wound bed, they extend themselves, flattening their bodies and migrating across the new collagen bridge. They crawl from underneath the surface, pushing outwards until the breach is sealed. This movement continues until the surface edges meet, at which point a contact inhibition signal tells them to stop. Finally, the remodeling phase begins, where the initial rough collagen weave is slowly replaced and organized, softening the scar over time. The scar is thus a testament to the city's commitment to rapid survival over aesthetic perfection, a visible reminder of an invisible cellular wisdom. The movement of the skin cells in the surface crawl is a marvel of microscopic engineering. They do not just wander, they follow a precise electrochemical gradient, sensing the difference in voltage between healthy tissue and the damaged area. This electrical field acts as a directional compass, guiding the cellular migration with unerring accuracy. Disruption of this field, often by infection or chronic stress, can cause the crawl to falter, slowing the entire closure protocol. The difference between a well-healed wound and a prominent scar often comes down to the efficiency of the remodeling phase. The initial collagen laid down is chaotic and strong, but over many months, the fibroblasts work patiently to align these fibers along the natural stress lines of skin, softening the mark. This process is highly dependent on mechanical tension, gentle stretching and massage, which signals to the fibroblasts how to best organize the new architecture. The role of oxygen saturation in the closure protocol is critical. The fibroblasts, in their weaving of collagen, are extremely sensitive to the concentration of oxygen. A wound that is well oxygenated due to healthy circulation can proceed rapidly and lay down a more organized structure, whereas a poorly oxygenated wound is forced to use less efficient speed over quality protocols, resulting in denser, less pliable scar tissue. Breathing deeply, therefore, is an act of supporting construction crews. The city's memory is not confined to the central command center. It is also stored locally in the very structure of its tissues, a phenomenon known as tissue priming. When an injury occurs, the surrounding cells undergo a subtle change. They become primed, meaning they remember the specific choreography of the last recovery effort. They retain a residual level of activation, faster signaling, more readily available progenitor cells, and a quicker, more efficient deployment of immune forces. If the same area is injured again, the response is instantaneous, faster than the initial event. The tissue acts as though it has been to that battle before. This local wisdom explains why your body seems to learn from its past. Healing is not merely a reaction. It is a learned adaptation, a rhythm refined by experience. Every successful man makes the city wiser, carrying forward lessons of resilience into its very structure. The local tissue, the local citizenry, becomes a teacher for the next repair, ensuring that the return of wholeness is achieved with greater speed and less collateral damage. The city continually refines its survival protocols, proving that experience itself is woven into the architecture of your being. This memory trace in the tissue is a form of local biological intelligence. It allows the city to differentiate between a novel threat, a new infection, and a familiar stressor, a recurring area of microdamage, adjusting its inflammatory response accordingly. This refined wisdom saves precious energy and reduces the risk of overreaction, which is a major cause of chronic systemic problems. The most fascinating expression of this local memory is the rare occurrence of scarless healing, sometimes seen in newborns. This phenomenon suggests that the early city operates with a perfect initial blueprint and an unparalleled ability to rapidly clear and replace tissue without resorting to the speed and density of scar collagen. Researchers study these perfect healing systems as a glimpse into the city's uncorrupted potential, seeking the chemical switch that allows the tissue to perfectly restore rather than merely repair. The essence of the search is to discover how the adult system can be convinced to forget the learned habit of scarring. The strength and continuity of the silent city rely on the integrity of its core, specialized infrastructure systems. These systems, the structural framework, the centralized fluid transport, and the high-speed communication lines, are not passive. They are constantly monitoring, adapting, and rebuilding themselves in response to internal and external demands. The Bonneville districts, your bones, represent the city's deepest structural framework, yet they operate under a paradox of stillness and flux. They're the fixed pillars, but they are also the listening framework, operating under a perpetual, subtle dialogue with gravity and movement. This adherence to Wolff's Law, the biological law of load, is one of the most elegant forms of self-governance in the city. Every step you take, every object you lift, and every moment you stand sends microscopic stresses through the mineralized matrix. Tiny sensor citizens, the osteocytes, embedded deep within the bone, detect the precise direction and magnitude of these forces. They act as the city's stress engineers, relaying messages to two specialized crews, the osteoclast demolition crew and the osteoblast mason crew. This continuous process, known as bone remodeling, is how the bones reshape themselves in real time to perfectly match the demands of your life. If you increase your physical activity, the bones detect the increased load and proactively thicken the appropriate areas. If you experience prolonged immobility, the absence of load is detected and the city begins to dismantle the framework, leading to density loss. The bone framework is not static. It is a living, responsive instrument, finely tuned to the gravity and movement of your world. Every healed fracture holds a stress map of the trauma, having learned exactly how much force is required to break it, and more importantly, how much strength is required to resist that force in the future. The ability of the osteocytes to sense mechanical stress is dependent on the flow of fluid through the tiny channels within the bone matrix. This fluid flow, influenced by movement, acts as a communication medium, relaying pressure changes into electrical signals. This means that gentle, consistent movement is not just the muscles. It is a vital signal that keeps the bone masons active, ensuring the integrity of the city's deep support structure. Furthermore, the role of vitamin D, manufactured beneath the citadel wall with the help of sunlight, is crucial here. It acts as procurement manager, ensuring that the necessary raw material calcium is available for the osteoblast to use in rebuilding the bone matrix. Without this vital logistical support, the demolition crews will continue their work, but the masons will be unable to rebuild, leading to a net loss of structural integrity. Hormones, particularly parathyroid hormone PTH and calcitonin, act as the city's central mineral regulators, deciding whether to pull calcium from the marrow quarries into bloodstream or deposit it back into the Bonneville districts, maintaining a perfect systemic balance. Hidden beneath the structural ribs lies the core citadel, the liver, the city's chemical processing and detoxification powerhouse. Its ability to regenerate is not just a form of healing. It is a primal echo of a deeper, ancient biological ability to replace large portions of the physical form. When a section of the core citadel is damaged or surgically removed, a remarkable sequence of regeneration protocols is initiated. Surviving liver cells receive a rapid cascade of growth factors, the activation codes, that awaken their dormant division capacity, leading to rapid multiplication. As the new cellular mass forms, it is simultaneously guided to reorganize its internal architecture, including the intricate web of nutrient lines and bile ducts, as if remembering its former shape and function. The core citadel's ability to rebuild itself entirely to full size is unique among the city's organs and demonstrates a profound, unextinguished potential for renewal. The citadel never rests, cleansing the central fluid streams, manufacturing vital proteins, and orchestrating hormonal balance. Its resilient power is a clear message. Healing is an inherent art the city was born to master. The regenerative capacity of the core citadel is tightly linked to the balance of the city's hormones, specifically insulin and insulin-like growth factor, IGF. After damage, these hormones rise, acting as chemical fertilizers that encourage rapid cell division. However, this growth is carefully regulated by other inhibitory factors, ensuring the regeneration stops precisely when the organ reaches its original size, a perfect example of self-limiting, precise repair. The constant, quiet service of the core citadel involves neutralizing toxins absorbed from the digestive waterways and external environment. This work generates a high level of oxidative stress, requiring the citadel to maintain an enormous reserve of antioxidant enzymes, like glutathione, to neutralize the internal pollution. Its ability to heal is thus directly tied to its capacity for internal chemical cleansing. Sleep and deep rest are essential logistical periods where the citadel can dedicate maximum energy to the production of these detoxification agents, making the night shift crucial for its daily resilience. The city's transport system, the vascular network, is not a fixed map of pipes. It is a living, adaptable infrastructure capable of sprouting new roads, a process known as angiogenesis. When any district or borough is starved of oxygen or nutrients, the local citizens release urgent chemical distress signals, growth factors like VEGF. This signal is a call for a new transport route. In response, the lining cells of nearby existing vessels, the endothelial construction crew, begin to bud outward. These new vessels, the capillaries, weave themselves into damaged or needy tissue, establishing a network of new circulation. This mechanism is vital for all major construction and repair, transforming a pale, deprived area into pink, revitalized tissue as life-sustaining fluid returns. When the city's main highways become obstructed, this process initiates collateral circulation, forming delicate bridges and detours around the blockage, nature's own version of a self-activating bypass, ensuring that essential services continue uninterrupted. The fluid network proves that the city responds to loss not with acceptance, but with architecture, carving new, life-sustaining pathways wherever old ones falter. Exercise and gentle movement are known to act as a profound stimulus for angiogenesis, particularly in the muscular grids. The controlled demand for oxygen during activity forces the release of the necessary growth factors, encouraging the transport system to become denser, more efficient, and more resilient to future blockages. Movement, therefore, is a quiet, ongoing structural improvement project. The elegance of collateral circulation is a silent marvel. These backup roads, often tiny and unused, remain dormant until a pressure difference or chemical signal, due to a major blockage, commands them to open and expand. This hidden network of resilience ensures that even when a crisis occurs, the city has an immediate, pre-plumbed detour ready to activate, minimizing the duration of tissue deprivation. The system embodies the principle of redundancy as survival. The city's most vital resource is its capacity for instantaneous communication, managed by the nervous system, an intricate network of high-speed fiber optic cables, neurons, that relay information across the vast metropolis. This system is a dedicated, low-latency lifeline between the central command center, brain, and every outlying district. The ability to sense, react, and reorganize depends entirely on the fidelity of these lines. When a communication line, a nerve, is severed, the city initiates the reconnection protocol. This process demonstrates patience and persistence that defies the speed of modern life. Cells at the damaged end of the nerve fiber release molecular breadcrumbs, tiny chemical cues that act as a directional pathfinder for the regrowth. These cues are gradients, chemical trails that whisper to the growing fiber, this is a path home. Specialized support cells, the Schwann utility workers, line the old, damaged pathway, acting like lanterns illuminating the route back to the muscle or skin region that once received its signal. The nerve fiber, moving at a painstakingly slow rate of millimeter per day, reaches across the void toward reunion. The central command waits patiently, sometimes for months, until sensation and movement return to the detached district. The precision is astonishing, as if the city holds a perfect, uncorrupted internal GPS map for every fiber. Healing here is a search for reunion, guided by chemistry and the ancient desire to feel the external world again. It is a biological odyssey where persistence is the only requirement, but not all nerve damage results in complete disconnection. Often, injury leaves the nerve pathway intact but hypersensitive, a condition known as neural noise. This noise means a line is constantly broadcasting a low-level static or alarm, even in the absence of a real threat. The healing effort then shifts from physical repair to chemical and electrical quieting. This quieting requires specialized nerve support agents that dampen the signal strength and restore the insulation sheath myelin around the nerve fiber. The insulation is crucial. It ensures the message travels efficiently and prevents signal bleed to neighboring lines. Damage to this insulation can cause the static to spread, leading to systemic discomfort. The support cells, the oligodendrocytes and Schwann cells, work tirelessly to patch this myelin sheath, a process that relies heavily on healthy fat intake in the city's fuel stream. The command center itself must learn to filter this noise. Practices like mindfulness and deliberate focus train the command center to recognize the noise is static, not an alarm, allowing the city to gradually downgrade the threat level and and reduce the chemical resources allocated to defensive vigilance. This is a profound example of the mind actively rewiring the body's perception of pain. The heart pumping station is the city's central engine, an organ once thought to be static, unable to repair or replace its own infrastructure. Yet, science now confirms that even this tireless engine undergoes subtle, continuous renewal. Its rhythm is not merely mechanical. It is the rhythm of resilience. Every year, a small fraction of the heart muscle cells are exchanged. This quiet, ongoing regeneration replaces worn-out components with fresh cells formed from resident progenitor cells. The subtle renewal, though slow, speaks to the persistence of life, proving that even the most constantly working organ possesses a drive for continuous self-improvement and self-sustainability. When the heart pumping station suffers a blockage, the city initiates a proactive defense plan. Cells release angiogenesis signals, encouraging the endothelial construction crew to grow new, delicate bypass roads around the obstruction. This collateral circulation protects the tissue from collapse, ensuring vital flow continues. This is the biological equivalent of building emergency diversion tunnels under intense pressure. Furthermore, the heart pumping station does more than pump fluid. It is a magnetic center. Every beat generates an electromagnetic field strong enough to be measured outside the city limits. This field acts as an invisible broadcast of the city's internal state, a silent, honest, constant transmission. When the city is in a state of coherence, achieved through deep breathing, gratitude, or peace, the heart's magnetic rhythm becomes smooth and steady, synchronizing with the central command's electrical activity. This state of harmony optimizes the system-wide function and accelerates every repair protocol. It literally aligns the city's chaotic electrical and chemical activities into a single, unified wave. Conversely, anxiety or fear introduces jaggedness into magnetic field, signaling chemical imbalance and internal discord. The heart pumping station, therefore, is not merely a machine. It is the city's most powerful, honest broadcaster of an internal peace, translating emotion into a measurable wave of energy that affects every cell in its radius. The heart also releases natriuretic peptides when it is under physical strain, e.g., high blood pressure. These peptides act as self-regulating chemical messengers, instructing the fluid vessels to relax and the kidneys to reduce fluid volume, actively lowering the strain on the heart walls. This is the heart's quiet, emergency mechanism for self-protection, a chemical reassurance that it knows how to manage internal pressure and prevent catastrophic failure. The continuity of life depends on the efficiency of the transport systems and the disciplined allocation of resources during periods of intentional stillness. The circulatory system is the vast, pressurized fluid network that links every district and borough of a city. Its true function is far more sophisticated than just delivery. It is the city's high-speed, real-time communication network, and its first line of defense. The fluid stream, the blood, is constantly monitored for chemical anomalies. When a structural breach occurs, damaged cells release fragments and molecular cues into the passing fluid. These are the molecular distress signals, the city's equivalent of a 911 call, broadcasting the location and nature of the emergency. The fluid immediately changes its chemistry, becoming a dynamic, self-updating map of the crisis. The moment the fluid flow encounters a breach, the platelet first responders activate. They seal the breach and, more importantly, release a cascade of potent growth factors, the emergency architects of early repair. They summon the cleanup crews, activate the masons, and initiate new road construction. The clot is the blueprint's marker, setting the rhythm that every other specialized cell will follow. Floating within the fluid stream is the city's vast immune security force, the white blood cells. They rapidly leave the main fluid highways to infiltrate the damaged tissue. Phagocytes act as sanitation crews, hunting down invaders and clearing debris. Lymphocytes work to identify specific threats, storing defense memories, the biological records of past battles. This immunological memory is a profound archive, ensuring that past victories contribute to future readiness. While you rest, your circulatory system is not simply delivering life. It is directing a vast, invisible choreography of defense and repair, ensuring every corner of the city knows where care is needed most. The sheer volume of information transmitted to the bloodstream is staggering, acting as a hormonal and molecular internet. The efficiency of the fluid stream is measured in heart rate variability, HRV. High variability means the nervous system can quickly adapt the heart's rhythm to changing demands, a sign of flexibility and high resilience. Low variability suggests rigidity and chronic stress. The heartbeat, therefore, is an ongoing narrative of the city's internal coherence. The white blood cells movement is also a marvel of communication. They do not just drift. They engage in chemotaxis, following the rising concentration of distress signals to navigate precisely to the infection site. Furthermore, some scientists believe they communicate using biophotons, tiny faint flashes of light, suggesting that the immune response is also a dazzling, silent, luminous dialogue in the dark. The transition from wakefulness to deep sleep is the city's shift from survival mode to maintenance mode. Sleep is not merely a pause. It is a mandatory night shift, the only period when the consciousness's high energy demands are low enough to permit maximal allocation to long-term regeneration. As the city descends into the deepest stages of rest, the chief architect instruction begins to surge through the system. Growth hormone. This hormone is the master coordinator of renewal, instructing the bone masons to deposit mineral, the muscular grids to repair microtears, and the progenitor reserves to activate for cellular division. The quality of this deep rest is directly proportional to the effectiveness of the regeneration. Even the central command center, the brain, undergoes a rigorous night shift. During deep sleep, the spaces between the nerve citizens widen and the glymphatic system, the brain's unique sanitation system, becomes highly active. Waves of cerebrospinal fluid wash through the tissue, flushing away the chemical byproducts of thought and metabolism. This cerebral cleansing is the brain's way of resetting its systems, sharpening memory, and ensuring clarity for the next day. While the muscles relax and the brain cleanses, the immune security force shifts into intense maintenance and review mode. They process the day's encounters, manufacture and store antibody schematics, and release hormones that calm excessive inflammation. The comfort and ease of morning are the tangible evidence of the night shift success. Sleep is the secret workshop of your ultimate resilience. The hormonal control tower operates on a precise circadian schedule. The stress hormone cortisol is programmed to peak just before dawn. This signal is crucial. It gently winds down the heightened inflammatory repair processes of the night, preventing them from running too long, and transitions the city back to alertness. Cortisol, in the right rhythm, is the agent of order, closing the nightly chapter of renewal with precision. The melatonin hormone, often associated with sleep initiation, is also a powerful antioxidant agent. Its release during darkness helps to neutralize the damaging free radicals that accumulate during the day, protecting the cells and DNA as the night shift commences. Darkness is literally a chemical defense mechanism, ensuring the stability of the city during its deepest repairs. The architecture of dreams itself is part of the night shift. While the brain is clearing chemical waste, it is also processing and filing the day's emotional and factual inputs. This activity is vital for emotional coherence, preventing the accumulation of mental clutter and allowing the city's central command to remain flexible and adaptive to future stress. The deepest healing is never just physical. It is a profound process of mind-body co-regulation. The movement of the central fluid stream is governed by the principles of hydrodynamics, but the permeability of its vessels is controlled by local citizen signaling. This capacity for controlled leakage is crucial for initiating repair. When the platelet first responders arrive at a breach, they also release agents that widen the gaps between the endothelial construction crew lining the vessels. This controlled permeability allows the larger immune security forces and plasma proteins, raw materials, to rush into the damaged tissue. This intentional leakage is the source of the visible swelling and heat, the initial signature of the inflammation protocol. This fluid dynamic shift is an example of the city temporarily sacrificing local efficiency for systemic gain. The swelling compresses surrounding tissue, immobilizing the area, while the heat accelerates the chemical reactions necessary for defense. The eventual resolution of this swelling, the return of the fluid to the vessels, is managed by the lymphatic system, the city's secondary, slow-moving sanitation network, which drains away the battlefield waste. This entire sequence highlights that healing is an expertly managed cascade of intentional destabilization followed by precise restabilization. It is a necessary disruption that precedes the final, quiet return to order. The most astonishing acts of healing are not those performed by visible scars, but those occurring at the smallest, most fundamental level. The genetic code, the interaction with light, and the deep chemical lessons learned from every challenge. This section explores the city's internal data centers and its reliance on environmental rhythm. The DNA archive inside every city citizen is the ultimate master blueprint, a delicate double helix structure containing an entire operating code for civilization. Yet, this code is under constant assault, both from the environment, radiation, toxins, and from the simple, unavoidable metabolic chaos of living oxidation from oxygen use. Remarkably, the code rarely stays broken for long. This is due to the omnipresent enzyme repair crews, specialized protein complexes that patrol the DNA strands like vigilant caretakers and proofreaders. They operate under a series of sophisticated repair mechanisms, fixing minor spelling mistakes, excising entire corrupted chunks, and, in high-stakes protocols, rejoining the entire double helix when it is snapped. This molecular craftsmanship happens millions of times a day without the consciousness ever knowing. The city treats DNA damage not as catastrophe, but as a routine maintenance task, a call to adapt and restore. Deep within every cell, evolution has left you a toolkit for resilience, ensuring that even your fundamental genetic story knows how to heal itself. The efficiency of the DNA repair crews is profoundly influenced by the city's internal chemistry. High levels of chronic stress hormones, cortisol, and oxidative pollution, free radicals, overwhelm the crews, leading to an increase in uncorrected errors. Conversely, a diet rich in antioxidants from clean fuel sources and periods of fasting, which upregulate autophagy, significantly improve the efficiency of the molecular cleanup and proofreading. The telomeres, the protective caps on the ends of the DNA archive, are another crucial factor. Every time a cell divides, these caps shorten, acting as a biological fuse that dictates cellular lifespan. The enzyme telomerase can help repair and maintain these caps, and its activity has been linked to factors like chronic stress reduction and meditation, suggesting that the very process of peaceful focus can protect the deepest architecture of the city. The length of these telomeres is a chemical measure of the city's historical stress load. The state of senescence, where cells refuse to die but also cease to divide, presents a unique challenge to the archive. These senescent cells, having stopped contributing to the workforce, instead release corrosive, pro-inflammatory signals. The senescence-associated secretory phenotype, SESP, that damage neighboring healthy tissue. The city must deploy specialized immune cells to clear these lingering, disruptive citizens, a process vital for maintaining the health of the entire district. Healing is fundamentally tied to timing, and the city's clock is calibrated to the most powerful force in its environment, light. Morning light is the city's most important signaling mechanism. When it strikes the optical sensors, the eyes, it sends an immediate, powerful message to the master clock of the central command center. This signal synchronizes the hormonal chronometers throughout the entire city, cueing the end of the nighttime repair cycle and the beginning of the daytime defense cycle. The specific wavelength of ultraviolet light helps the skin's production facility manufacture vitamin D, a vital molecule that strengthens bone structure and modulates the balance of immune security force. The daily ceremony of gentle light exposure is a profound biological reassurance that cycles persist and renewal is always on schedule. The concept of chronotherapy emerges from this understanding, recognizing that the efficacy of any repair effort is bound by the time of day. For instance, the timing of inflammatory responses is dictated by the circadian rhythm, often peaking when the body is most active. Disrupting this rhythm through irregular sleep or constant artificial light is akin to confusing the entire maintenance schedule, forcing the repair crews to work inefficiently under false clock signals. The impact of blue light from artificial screens late at night is a serious disruption to the city's timing. This light, interpreted by the optical sensors as morning sun, inhibits the release of melatonin and shifts the entire circadian schedule later. This confusion means that when the night shift should begin deep repairs, the city is still operating in a high alert, daytime mode, slowing down healing and increasing vulnerability. Protecting the eyes from this late-night signal is a crucial act of chronobiological self-care. Repair requires more than just major building blocks. It depends on precise availability of trace minerals, the unsung logistics managers of the city. Zinc is a quiet architect of renewal. When tissues are damaged, this mineral becomes a cornerstone of repair, assisting the enzymes that copy DNA, allowing new cells to divide, and stabilizing the membranes against oxidative damage. Without it, the closure protocol is severely hindered, and the immune security force loses its sharpness. Iron is best known for transporting oxygen, but its role in construction is equally vital. It fuels the production of collagen cable and powers the enzymes that generate energy for repair. When iron is scarce, the newly forming tissue is starved of oxygen, and the entire machinery of healing slows to a crawl. Vitamin C acts as the crucial cofactor for fibroblasts, literally required to cross-link and strengthen the woven collagen structure. Without it, the collagen is unstable and new tissue lacks structural integrity. The availability of these tiny elements demonstrates that healing is dependent on the harmony between chemistry and nourishment, proving that even the smallest molecules hold great power in renewal. The environment inside the Silent City is a chemical reflection of the conscious administration's emotional state. Thought and feeling translate directly into hormones and peptides, shaping the ability of every citizen to perform their duties. The sustained chemical presence of cortisol and adrenaline maintains the city in a state of perpetual alert. This vigilance is exhausting. The continuous presence of cortisol at high levels is particularly damaging because it actively interferes with the fibroblasts, slowing their ability to weave collagen cable and delaying the remodeling phase of wound healing. Chronic inflammation, a key marker of this persistent stress, diverts the city's resources into an endless, unproductive skirmish. The energy used to maintain this low-grade internal conflict is energy stolen directly from the mitochondria that should be fueling the progenitor cells and the DNA repair crews. True healing is impossible until the city's chemical security alert system is convinced that peace has returned. The practice of mindfulness and gentle focus acts as a powerful countersignal to the stress response. By consciously observing the breath or the body without judgment, the Central Command Center effectively proves to the system that the threat is internal and not immediate. This non-reaction breaks the feedback loop, allowing the adrenal glands to cease their emergency broadcast and the system to default back to the restful parasympathetic mode. The ultimate goal here is to establish elastasis, not the absence of stress, but the ability of the system to adaptively respond and efficiently return to baseline. Chronic stress leads to an allostatic load, where the cost of adaptation exceeds the capacity for repair, leading to breakdown. Healing is the process of reversing this load. The chemistry of affection is measurable. Oxytocin, the love hormone, is one of the city's most potent multifunctional repair agents. Released during acts of touch and trust, it functions as a critical anti-inflammatory, countering the corrosive effects of cortisol. It also supports tissue repair by promoting new vessel formation and collagen synthesis. The chemistry of affection is measurable, rewriting the conditions inside cells. The concept of placebo healing is the ultimate testament to the power of positive expectation. When the consciousness genuinely believes healing is underway, even if the intervention is inert, the Central Command Center releases its own potent arsenal of natural opioids, endorphins and enkephalins, and growth factors. The belief itself acts as the trigger signal, commanding the body to activate the same regeneration protocols that would be used by actual medicine. The act of gratitude activates the reward centers in the Central Command, effectively training the brain to focus on stability and safety rather than scarcity and threat. This shift in neural focus lowers cortisol and enhances immune function, translating a simple mental practice into a profound systemic benefit. Gratitude is the conscious mind's way of giving the city permission to feel safe enough to rest and rebuild. Touch is an ancient, essential form of biological communication. Receptors in the skin send immediate, nonverbal signals of safety directly to the Central Command, bypassing the analytical mind. This is why gentle touch can instantly lower blood pressure and heart rate variability, releasing the calming oxytocin. Holding a loved one, receiving a massage, or even gently stroking a pet are all powerful acts of co-regulation, transforming the chemistry of stress into the chemistry of healing. The digestive waterways are home to the microbiome, a vast, diverse ecosystem of billions of microscopic citizens. This community is not a passive passenger. It is an active collaborator in the city's governance. The microbiome acts as a chemical factory, producing vital compounds like short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs. These SCFAs travel through the fluid stream, acting as diplomats to the immune security force, teaching them how to respond calmly rather than with excessive corrosive inflammation. A rich, diverse microbiome ensures the immune security force can distinguish between a harmless food particle and a true invader. This education reduces unnecessary skirmishes, conserving precious energy that can then be redirected to maintenance and repair. The integrity of the gut wall itself is largely maintained by the microbiome. The vagus nerve, the long emotional highway, runs directly through the digestive waterways, connecting the gut's chemical factory to the central command. This gut-brain axis means that the well-being of the microbial citizens directly influences the mood and clarity of the consciousness. Anxiety and stress can disrupt the balance of the microbiome, creating a negative feedback loop where internal chaos exacerbates mental strain. Nourishment rich in fiber is a preferred fuel for the helpful microbial citizens. By intentionally feeding these partners, the consciousness secures the health of its most numerous citizens, ensuring the continuous production of anti-inflammatory and mood-regulating compounds. The relationship is a profound example of shared biological destiny. The hormonal control tower dictates the pace and priority of all healing projects. These chemical messengers ensure that the diverse repair efforts across the city are perfectly synchronized and managed according to resource availability. Testosterone, while building the muscular grids, can temporarily suppress the immune security force, slowing the initial inflammatory phase of a wound. Estrogen, conversely, acts as a general accelerant for surface repair. Insulin-like growth factor, IGF, is the form and the construction. The exquisite balance of these chemical signals means that healing is never a simple on-off switch, but a complex symphony of timing and proportion. The best state for the city is hormonal equilibrium, achieved through consistent sleep, balanced nutrition, and low chronic stress. The final, most sophisticated chapter of the city's resilience is the seamless, constant communication between the central command center and the immune security force. Neuroplasticity is the brain's greatest promise of healing. When nerve citizens, neurons, are lost, the surrounding, healthy cells begin to reroute and form new, deeper connections to take over the lost functions. The creation of new neurons, or neurogenesis, is particularly active in the hippocampus, the part of the central command responsible for memory and emotion. This process is boosted by aerobic exercise and cognitive challenge, suggesting that physical movement and intentional learning are not just mental stimulation, but direct acts of structural renewal within the city's command center. The brain's plasticity is its inherent promise, that repair and learning are different names for the same fundamental process of adaptation and renewal. The central command center and the immune security force are in constant two-way communication. A calm mind enhances defense. Infection command the mind to rest and conserve energy via cytokines. The brain's own immune citizens, the microglia, act as the command center's personal repair crew. They switch function from sanitation workers to builders, actively helping neurons form new synaptic connections. The vagus nerve acts as the primary physical bridge in this dialogue, monitoring inflammation and reporting directly to the brain. Through techniques like deep humming, chanting, or slow exhalation, the consciousness can consciously stimulate the vagus nerve, sending a direct signal of safety and peace that instantly dampens the immune response and promotes systemic repair. Emotional experiences leave physical imprints within the city's tissues, stored as vigilance posture. Mindfulness, gentle movement, and empathetic connection help to release these stored patterns. As the muscles relax, the nervous system interprets the physical softening as a signal of safety. The phenomenon of chronic pain often represents an unclosed defense loop. The original injury has healed, but the command alarm circuits continue to fire. Healing requires nervous system retraining, teaching the brain that the area is safe. The pain signal transforms from a warning into a habit, and the path to recovery lies in consciously breaking the habit of guarding. We now arrive at the final architecture of the Silent City, where all individual systems, the bones, the blood, the microbes, and the mind, converge into a singular, profound state of resilience. This is not merely survival. It is the art of adaptive, continuous becoming. Beneath the biochemistry, the city is fundamentally guided by electrical signals, a truth far older than chemical signaling. Every living cell carries a voltage across its membrane, and these tiny currents are the compass of repair. When the outer citadel wall is breached, the voltage pattern immediately shifts, creating a measurable electrical signal that tells nearby cells exactly where the wound lies. Fibroblasts and keratinocytes, skin cells, follow this current toward the breach, guided like metal filings to a magnet. This electrical whispering helps coordinate the rebuilding of tissue before hormones or chemicals even arrive. The city uses this blueprint of charge to direct the precise migration of cells, ensuring order is restored swiftly to the chaotic injury site. The heart's magnetic field is the most powerful manifestation of this electrical wisdom. Its coherence reflects a state where the city's entire internal energetic network, from brainwaves to cellular voltage, is in harmony. By achieving mental and emotional peace, you actively align the city's electrical architecture. This coherent state, measurable as high heart rate variability, HRV, acts as a systemic tuner, ensuring that all cellular processes, from DNA proofreading to immune surveillance, operate on the same efficient, restorative rhythm. The concept of cold exposure, such as cold showers or immersion, as a therapeutic signal also relates to this electrical system. The sudden, controlled shock triggers a massive sympathetic response, instantly changing the electrical state of the nerve endings and fluid vessels. This change, when followed by the return of warmth, acts as a systemic reset, forcing the release of anti-inflammatory agents and upregulating cellular cleanup processes. It is a controlled environmental challenge that compels the city to tighten its energy grid and increase its overall electrical efficiency. Meditation is the consciousness's most direct, non-invasive method of optimizing the city's internal environment. It is the conscious practice of achieving coherence and taming the random electrical noise of the central command. During stillness, the brain's electrical activity shifts into synchronized, slow wave patterns, lowering the heart rate and inducing profound physical calm. This practice directly reduces cortisol and adrenaline, allowing the repair mechanisms to operate unhindered. Crucially, studies have shown that consistent meditation alters gene expression, the way the DNA archive is read. It can switch off genes associated with inflammation and oxidative stress, and switch on those linked to repair and longevity. What feels like quiet contemplation is, in biological truth, a profound act of genetic and chemical engineering. The practice gives the DNA repair crews the peace and resources necessary to do their deepest work, without the constant interruption of a stress signal. By regularly practicing stillness, the consciousness creates a new, lower set point for the city's stress response. The system learns to return to peace quickly, transforming short-term practice into long-term neuroresilience. The city's default state shifts from vigilance to restoration. This achieved allostasis allows the city to use its resources for growth and rebuilding, rather than constant defense against phantom threats. The realization of the city's true nature is that it is not a pyramid with a mind at the top, but a web of interdependence. The microbe in the gut influences the vagus nerve, which influences the heart rhythm, which influences the brain chemistry that releases the hormones necessary for the cellular repair crews to mend the walls. This axis of interdependence means that no single element can be healed in isolation. The resilience of the bone district requires the cleanliness provided by the core citadel liver, which relies on the calming signals transmitted by the microbiome. Every single component is a necessary link in the chain of wholeness. To truly heal is to participate in this conversation, to understand the language of the silent city itself. It is to recognize that an upset stomach is not a local event. It is a communication that the vagus nerve is being agitated, which will in turn signal a state of low-grade alert to the central command. Acknowledging this connection is the first step towards sending the correct, soothing countersignal. This conversation requires patience, the understanding that nerve growth takes months, collagen remodeling takes years, and the shifting of the microbiome requires consistent daily nourishment. Healing is not a quick fix. It is a lifelong devotion to rhythm. We have reached the perimeter of the silent city's knowledge. Let yourself settle into the final, gentle truth. You are not the same person who began this night. Somewhere deep inside, chemistry has shifted. Tension has loosened its grip. The pulse of life is moving through you with perfect, unwavering patience. The cities will demand remain steady, ancient, and sure. It asks for 3 final, profound acts of cooperation from the consciousness. Listen. Acknowledge the persistent wisdom within. Do not fight the fatigued. Grant the necessary rest. Do not ignore the signal of thirst or hunger. Provide clean, balanced nourishment. Listen to the subtle, quiet language of repair that is not spoken in words, but in sensation and chemical change. Trust. Trust that the biological memory of wholeness is still encoded within every cell, and that the resources for restoration are already on their way. Trust the night shift. Trust the progenitor cells. Trust the system's innate intelligence to choose the correct protocol. Distrust is an adrenaline signal. Trust is the deep breath that enables healing. Allow the world to hold you as you are, imperfect in process, constantly becoming. Healing asks for permission, not force. Allow your muscles to soften. Allow your mind to clear. Allow the rhythms of the earth to guide your internal cycles. The silent city of self is a testament to resilience, a constant, unfolding miracle. It asks only that you protect its quiet. Close your eyes. Let go of the noise of the waking world, and let stillness settle over you like a soft blanket. Feel your body ease into its own rhythm, calm, secure, and complete, within the harmony of the silent city. The work of life continues, ceaseless and gentle. Sleep well, and good night.